I think MIT Sloan participated in a research study that found that when the 150-hour rule was implemented, when the education was increased to 5 years, that we had a drop of 14% when it came to new CPAs. And if we look at how many CPAs we need versus how many are retiring, it's going to need to be more than 14%. So, what's your take on this, right? Is this too little too late? Is it not enough?
It's a really fair point, and this is not enough. This is a critical component to addressing a really important challenge that we have, and that is reducing barriers and addressing time of cost of education. But there's a lot more we need to do. And so let me just hit on a couple of those really quickly. The first thing that I want to note is that we have come a long way in this UAA process. And, we're all working very hard, but I want to give a shout out to our state boards of accountancy and they're partnering with us because none of us can do this alone. And none of us have done this alone. We have worked in concert and listened to the feedback that we've gotten in the profession to pursue these changes. So one thing I want to say is that the UAA process is very important. And the reason it's important is because it provides model language and model law. And so that is a guide that states can use to implement changes. And that means we don't get tripped up with some of the nuances between state that might, in fact, impact someone's license or impact mobility. That's a really important point. The second point that I want to make is basically this is not a once every 20-year discussion. One of the things that we've been advocating for very strongly is a regular cadence to a practice analysis that looks at all the requirements of licensure. And so that's something that isn't in place now that other professions do have that we think is critically important as we move forward because the way the environment is changing is very fast. And so it's difficult to keep up. The last thing that I want to say is Shelley and I had the great honor of serving on the National Pipeline Advisory Group or NPAG. And, that's one of the things that we spoke about. There are 6 key themes that came out of NPAG, and all of them need to be addressed. This, addressing cost of time of education, is one. We also have to make the academic experience more engaging. We have to make sure we're growing the support that we have for CPA candidates. We have to expand access to underrepresented groups. We have to enhance the employee experience, and that includes everything, including salaries. And we have to tell a more compelling story. So is it enough? No. Is it critical? Yes.
Is it enough? No. Is it critical? Yes. I think that's a great way to put it. Thank you, Jodi Ann.